I am Araceli, a wealth advisor, real estate investor in the United States and Canada, and creator of Wealthy Women in Real Estate. Every week, I meet with Colette, a real estate broker and a real estate investor in Canada. We come together to talk about all things real estate investing and how to increase your wealth. Join us. Welcome, everyone. This is Araceli, transition wealth advisor and real estate investor in the US and Canada. And today my chat with Colette, actually, we were just laughing because neither one of us knew what was going on. I'm sorry. So Colette, can you introduce yourself if you remember who you are?
Yes,
And tell us what we're talking about.
You know what? Listen, it's the end of the year. We're all like, we're done. Like we are ready to start fresh in January. So, everything that we talk about, everything that we go through, I'm sure you can relate. Just the projects that we've done, feeling blessed that we have the opportunity to talk to you, to have information that we can share with you. It's been a really good year. But anyway, so today we're going to, oh, sorry, what's my name again? Okay, my name, focus. My name is Colette Rabba. I'm a residential real estate broker and investor, very much like Araceli, in the GTA and beyond. And we like to have this chat so we can share information about what we've gone through, answer your questions before you decide to either invest or even just buy a house yourself or sell your house, all those things. Anything to do with real estate, we love it, and finance, we love it. So please ask us your questions, subscribe, like, make comments, whatever you want. We really appreciate it because we want to help you. So what are we talking about today? 3 ways. Home equity. You have this home. How can the equity in your home impact your life positively? I think that's a really good word. You want to use the equity in your home. That's really what we want to talk about. And believe it or not, even me, I did not use the equity in my home for years and years and years because of fear, because of the unknown, because of what if this happens? What if that happens? And really, it's one of those things, just like anything else. You want to learn how to swim? You get a teacher. They'll teach you how to swim, but you still have to jump in. You still have to get in the water, right?
That's right.
An analogy, right? I just came up with that.
Yeah. So the first one is, if you are blessed to have a home and you've lived there for a long time and you never tapped into the equity, if for whatever reason you go through any transition, let's say you lose your job and you haven't been able to find one. That happened to me a few times. And believe me, it's not fun, especially if you do not have a home. At least you'll be able to tap into that equity and have, most people already have a line of credit set up, or a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, that I would recommend highly that you set it up when you have a job, when you are in a home. Set it up so you don't have to qualify when you don't have a job, for example, right? Or if there's a big emergency that your car broke down and you can never fix it, and now you are into this, situation that you need a car and you can't buy one, at least you can tap into that equity, right?
Right. And like the other thing too, what the important thing here is, even though you are borrowing on your home, the difference in interest rate is huge. So let's say I have a credit card or I have a HELOC. My HELOC might be, let's say, 5% because the freaking thing keeps going, the rates keep going up. Like every time I sneeze, it seems like it's going up these days. So hopefully that'll slow down. But let's just say a HELOC is 5%. Credit card rates have gone up too. They're like 25, 23% or something now.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's crazy, right? So we're not saying here, okay, so one thing that we were not saying here is don't go out there and just use the equity because you have equity. No.
Right.
There is three things that we're going to talk today about, that in the case something happens, you have this house that has equity that will help you get through that particular event that you're going through. So the
Exactly.
first one is obviously financial setback, whether you lose your job, you have a big emergency to buy something. Remember, you always have to kind of plan for what you're doing. But if something happens and didn't go as planned, you have that equity to help you out, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I have helped actually even this year a couple people realize that and not have to sell their home because they have such good equity in their homes
Yeah.
to say, listen, like, it's not one answer. You don't have to sell. And coming from a real estate agent to tell you you don't have to sell is kind of nuts. And I kind of understand that. People just think, oh, I can't talk to a realtor because they're going to tell me to sell. That's not the case with me. If you go to my website, you can see I have different plans for people to say, if you are interested in talking about this, to maybe even rent out your property, or if you want to make it get some income out of it, because we all kind of understand that right now the world is changing and it's really not affordable to buy a house. But if you're lucky enough to have one, how do you kind of help people
Exactly.
to
Just leverage that. So the second
right,
point is now you would be able to help also someone,
right. So
right?
that's
So that's the second point. Like if you
yes,
have children that they're looking to buy a property, you might be able to tap into your own equity to help them out buy a property. But it's not only that, because if you do have a big enough house, you may be able to actually just take equity, renovate your property, and create a space for your children in the
right.
meantime, right?
Well,
Or generating an income.
right. And there is a new it's not a law, I forget what it's called, again, December brain, let's call it that. So the Ontario government has just ruled that homeowners can put a second suite or even a third suite onto their property somehow, some way. I know it's still very new and I don't want to talk too much about it, but this is the time to use something like a HELOC or a line of credit to actually do something within your own home, even to improve it, just to keep things going. But the bank of mom and dad, the people that of us that have children that need things to get by, don't forget about it. If you really need to do something, go to the dentist, whatever the case may be, use that,
Yeah.
the equity in your home, just to not feel so stressed about it, because later on it might actually do good to use the money now,
Yeah.
and then pay it off gradually. So
Yeah.
that's
So what is
number
the
two.
third one?
Number three. We're on number three. Do you want it? You want me to say it,
So
or you?
yeah, so you can use the equity as well to invest, right? Whether it is you're buying another property, or maybe you want to use this money to be a private lender, which you will get a higher interest. Obviously, do your research, do your due diligence, make sure that it makes sense for you to use it. But that would be a really good way to generate a little bit of extra income if you
Right.
have equity.
Yeah, and this is the thing too. When people say, "Oh, I want to buy a condo, but it's not going to be built in like," let's say you're in a situation where you have your home, but you want to downsize and move into a condo, but it's
Yeah.
not going to be ready for 3 years. You can take that money as your down payment, put it down, get your house ready to sell. So by the time the condo is ready, it's all done. It's an easier transition to move into the new condo, as opposed to, waiting all this time, then buying in 3 years, then having to put your house on the market and having that kind of, crazy time of, what do I do first? Do I buy first or sell first? So
Yeah.
there's always, there's so many different ways of doing something, but if you don't know, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Both of us are experienced. Both of us love to talk about real estate, as I said before. And
Yeah.
this is what we're here for, to give you that good advice. And honestly, so many people say it to me. I'm sure they say it to you, that I didn't think of that. I had no idea I could do that.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
And sometimes, you cannot plan for every situation that could possibly happen. We
Right.
don't know, but you can do the best you can. And always, when I do financial planning with my clients, it's always, take care of all the basics, make sure that there's some emergency money.
Right.
And be flexible on your plan, because the plan is always moving, changing. Your situation could be better or
Right.
could be a little bit worse, right? So depending on what it is, you need to change directions accordingly. But if you don't have a plan, you're just left in the middle of nothing, and it could be actually more devastating. So
Right. But also, like I said before, I didn't always have my real estate license. I didn't know much about real estate, when I was just a homeowner. I bought my first house, I don't know, I can't
yeah,
remember how old, like 26, 28, I can't remember. Anyway, back then, to know what I know now, I wish I'm telling my kids, like, till I'm blue in the face with the experiences that I had, and they can't relate because they are not in that place yet. So we want to do this
absolutely.
show. We want to answer your questions to get you ready for that time. So please
Exactly.
ask us. We're here for
And
you.
yeah, and even if it doesn't make sense, I'm telling you, I read so many books about real estate, but nothing really cemented in my brain until actually I bought my first property. I did all the transaction, and then I said, "Oh, that's why
Right,
they say this, right?"
right.
So that is the same thing that we just want to bring to you. Some of the things that come across our desk and that we
Yeah.
can just talk about it, that people don't think about it too
And
much.
you know what? To be quite honest, I know from my clients that have had experience with other agents, I do
Yeah,
something with them, and it's a little bit of a secret, but I don't mind sharing with you. So when I have a buying client that's ready to buy, I actually do a mock purchase first,
yeah,
so they can really feel the emotions, they can really ask the questions, they can really be immersed in it without having that, oh my gosh, here I am, I'm about to shell out
yeah.
hundreds, if not, $1 million, or think that I'm going to spend all this money, and how
Yeah.
am I going to do it without them feeling comfortable. So I never want them to be panicked when it's the actual purchase.
Yep.
So we go through a mock purchase first.
That's
Uh,
actually nice.
yeah, and then that way they're familiar with the process, they're familiar with the paperwork, they're familiar with the forms and the terms.
Yep.
And then when it comes time to Zoom, because sometimes, if we're in that market where there's multiple offers, they feel like, oh my gosh, I can't even think about it for a moment. So to get all that figured out, to ask all those, to get all the nerves out first,
Yep.
I recommend that for everybody. So
Absolutely. So that is actually really great. Well,
we'll take,
just to recap, so there's three things that you can do with your equity. So the first one is if you get into a position that you have a financial hardship. The second one is to help somebody else or to help renovate your own property for financial gain, whether you're renting or helping your child to move in. And the third one is that you can invest that money, whether it's private lending or just lending it to someone
yes,
to
send
get
it
some
to me.
more
I'll
interest.
take it. I'll take it. Give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Yes.
hope this helped. And if you do have any questions or anything like that that we didn't discuss today about your home equity, please send us a message. You know where to find us. Make sure that you subscribe, like the video, or share it with somebody that is going through any kind of situation. Thank you so much, Colette, for being here.
Thank you. And
Bye.
thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.